Hey everybody, so it's ATC about those comments. Did a video about jealous mothers, a jealous mother who allowed her daughter to be abused. Ah, that was a tough one. Let's go ahead and go over to some of the comments, and I wanted to make a statement which pretty much, I tell you, we are so aligned here. And one person, I've had a video on my list to do, and I must say, user FM 7VG4DV1K, we are definitely on the same page. We all are. So let's go ahead and get to some of the comments here. So again, on the video about a jealous mother, knowing that this guy was a pedophile, left the girl with him for what, weeks to babysit as she went to work, and then weeks later, what do you think happens? She warns him, I think he might be a pedophile, and leaves her daughter with him. Why is that? I am so led to believe, as my friend said, and I discussed this on a Patreon channel, about, when you start to, you kind of move around and you see, meet other people and you see maybe a different lifestyle. And he said, it leads me to wonder. He says, maybe do black people really love their children? And I said to him, I said, I think they do love their children, but we have to face reality. A lot of our people don't love their kids because here's the deal. They don't know what love is. A lot of our people only know abuse. So they'll cry, oh, this person died, and get them crying and all of that. But to really love your kid where you absolutely want the best, where you will protect, they don't know what it is. It's like most black women. Sad to say, but it is so very true. Most black women, they don't know what it's like to have a provider, let alone a husband who's a provider, because our community is not wired that way. We are wired for black women to accept baby daddy. And if you get pregnant, then that responsibility falls on you and not the man, because you should have known better, because you should have chose better. And then if you put him on child support, oh, there you go. That's all we need is another black man locked up in jail. The priorities, the thinking is so flawed. And as I said before, if you cannot accept what's wrong, that's why you can't move on. So this video, it hit a lot of nerve, a lot more than what I thought. Well, let's go ahead and get some of the comments. It said, this lady's story hits home for me and my siblings. My mom and grandmother did this to us as children. We told them what was going on, and they still had us being watched by our dad, grandpa, and our uncles. We were molested and incest for many years. That was the Matrix 496. And just reading this is hurtful. I cannot imagine. And at the Matrix 496, my heart goes out to you, darling. To think your mom and grandmother's supposed to be your provider, you're supposed to be your protector, and they still let this go on. Hence, the black woman is the least respected and least protected. And that's why I want black women to be selfish. She said her mom and grandmother did all this to us as children, and they still, after they told them, had them being watched by their dad, grandpa, and their uncles. Priest 100 said, thank you for your compelling compassion for the black women community. We thank you. Oh, Priest 100, thanks for being here, darling. It's the least I could do. But I want to call this out, and I want black women to realize that's why you need to be selfish. Because after you endure all of this from your mom and your grandmother and your dads and your uncles and their friends, this is the same community that turns around and lets you know that you are worthless, This is the same community. You're then supposed to grow up, and then you're supposed to sit up here and protect them. You sit up here, got them all of in your pocketbook. This is the same community. You grow up, and you go ahead, you protect them. You march for these same legitimate men. This is the same people you sit up here and you have to support financially when you are grown because of their shortcomings, because they didn't plan. That's why, some people, and I mean what I say. I'm not going to, I'm going to apologize for it. If you have a parent that wasn't worth a dime, let me tell you something right now, especially Black women, you don't owe anybody a darn thing. You don't. If a disappearing daddy wasn't there, if your mother was not there, even if she was there and allowed this to happen, as you get grown, I would cut her off. Well, family reunion to see what's happening. These are the same people that hurt you. We are trying to pretend, smile for the camera, like everything is okay, and it's freaking not. And then you need to spend that money going to some darn therapy. Sometimes it's okay to walk away. If you come from dysfunction like this here, it is sure as hell okay to walk away. As a matter of fact, me personally, I would recommend it. You might be surprised how wonderful your life could be. That stuff you're trying to suppress. And then after they done used you up, they then label you the angry Black woman. And then for the uncles and the granddaddies and the cousins and the friends of the family, all those males, something happens, so you're supposed to go ahead and get them marching for him. Oh, pull out your pocketbook. Oh, he in jail. Oh, he needs help. Oh, he needs sick. The damage continues. And then I'm telling you, listen, then when you start to get mid-30s to especially mid to late 30s, oh, trust me, darling, mid to late 30s, maybe 40s, you might kind of start looking around. You might kind of start getting off the hamster wheel, or you may still be on it, but you may kind of analyze things more. And then and then you become the bitter Black woman. Well, guess what? Of course, that's who you are, darling. But guess what? That's who this community has made you. You were not born a bitter Black woman. The experiences, the non-validation, the non-appreciation that we get in life, being put to the back. But then time something happened, everybody got to drag you up and put you on Front Street, and you got to handle it. Be a soldier for the community. Be a soldier for the family. Be a soldier for the church. But where's the community, and where's the family, and where's the church when these things are happening? Doing the same thing. Because guess what? The people that are in the community, in the church and the family, this is what they do. All turn a blind eye. All turn a blind eye. So, your local, what is this? Your local Bertle LC 6356 says, I feel like so many Black families, including mine. Yes, girl. No, certain men in the family who are molesters, rapists, but still invite them to the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other family events when they really need to be ostracized and cut off indefinitely. The nasty cycle is stopping with me. Yes, darling. And I know that for sure. That's why I say we want to pretend like everything is okay and then smile for the camera. And everything is not. Yeah. And they come with this fake thing. We need to all be together and love one another. Okay, but how can you love someone and knowing innocent child, is being victimized by a rapist and a molester, a pedo? If that is your definition of love, letting it continue, I don't want it. I don't need it. But I totally agree. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that. They know. They know. I told of an abuse situation, and then it turned out to be a bigger thing. That's a separate video. I just can't do it today. Nobody believed me. The church women's was on the side of the woman, of the mama. Even though the family members, two aunts, said they weren't surprised of it. The church women's. Wow. One of the kids ended up in the hospital. The mother didn't want to come forward. Oh, now everybody want to second guess it. Gotcha. So yes, they know this. Again, everything is fine. Just smile for the camera. Of course they know it. Irma Lala 6564 says, but gay cousin George or trans stepson Charlotte aren't allowed over. It's disgusting. Oh, yes. Oh, that person is gay. They might mess with the children. That person is getting, sure, anything is possible, but I can tell you one thing's for darn sure: a lot of heterosexuals also mess with children. Oh, yes. Why do you think so? And again, it's people. There have been children. How do teenage girls end up in a foster care home? And then you look up, it's a heterosexual mother and father. They're only there for the check in a foster care home. But can somebody kind of explain this to me? How did a teenage girl end up pregnant? How did that happen? Nobody gay is in the home. How did it happen? We know how it happens. But again, look the other way, and it can be the heterosexual couple that goes to the so-called church. Look the other way. The so-called church will look the other way. It's sad. Again, that's why I want black women to be selfish. When you find out you have experienced this right here, my thing is maybe you need to get away from those people because they're poison. See, it happened to you and you experienced it, and we're so used to, hey, smile for the camera, like everything is okay, and it's not. And then you find yourself so hurt. Why? You got to sit up here and you're sitting about these same people that subjected you to this. You're sitting here with the same people who saw this happening and they failed to protect you. Cynthia 9133 says her mother is a narcissist. She's the type that will tell her it's her fault. Oh yes, yeah. Oh, you look, you already know in the BC. You do not be surprised. Do not be at all surprised. You will more than likely hear something like, "Oh, well, you know what?" And it'll be a grown man, could be a cousin. Do not be surprised to hear, "Well, you know these little girls is fast now." No accountability for the man. No accountability, none whatsoever. Yes, it's always the child's fault. A black man being put on child support because he got 5 ladies pregnant. It's the woman's fault. They should have known better. Putting that man on child support. Keep going, growing, and glowing. I like that. Keep going, growing, and glowing. 9780 says this makes me sick. I have a cousin who was RAPED by her father every day at 2 p.m. Her grandmother and mother knew it, as well as her other siblings. Her grandmother raised my mother. I don't doubt that my mother had the same experience. Wow. I am so sorry. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. The grandmother and the mother knew it, and the other siblings. And we allow this behavior to continue. And the women know that it's painful. But see, that's why when I say what I say things, and I've been saying it for quite a while, I've heard other people come with their, variations. I've been saying the black man works for the Klan, and now I see people saying, hey, the black man is a new white supremacist. Yeah, hatred. I got a video coming out. We have to face it. You know this is hurtful, and you know this is harmful, but this kind of behavior is tolerated because guess what? The truth be told, we don't love ourselves, and sad to say, we got to face it. We don't love our children as we think we do. Or you would protect them. How this can happen. And the mother experienced it. It's a family thing. Generational poverty, we are literally passing down generational pain. We're passing down generational poverty and generational pain, especially to the children, the daughters. Truth hurts. 6574 says this goes on so much in the BC. Your grandfather's old buddy, that's those so-called crazy cousins, handsy uncles that keep noticing how much you are growing and filling out like a grown woman. And you're only, my God, 10, 11 years old. We are strife with families turning a blind eye, yep, and allowing them to come to holiday gatherings. Exactly. Again, smile for the camera. Everything's fine. Sickness. That's why some people just up and just move away. I've heard about that. Some have no contact. Gee, I wonder why. Trolls 5507 says, sounds familiar. Thank you for posting this video. Black women in general continue to compete against other black women without even announcing a competition. Yes, there you go. Not to mention, don't even want to be involved in one. My mother was still running around like the world is her playground, even during the most dangerous crisis going on worldwide, my mother still chose to abandon us. She has a whole house bequeathed to her by her parents, and she allows her brother to live there alone in a trance, listening to his jazz albums all day. Meanwhile, my younger sister and I have been struggling to survive evictions and other financial hardships. My mother's father was a molester, and she allowed it too. She left me there alone, knowing what was happening and hated me for telling. My mother blamed me for being molested. Trolls 5507, again, my heart goes out to you, everyone dealing with this. And see, that's why I keep telling you to be selfish. So she has a house bequeathed to her by her parents, left her house, and lets her brother live there alone. I bet he's staying there free. Meanwhile, the daughters, you already been abused now, and you struggling to survive evictions. That's why I keep on telling you, to hell with them. They can go kick freaking rocks. To hell with them. And sometimes I get emotional. To hell with their asses. Black women, we putting ourselves first. You know what, the rest. PHUCK the rest. PHUCK. I don't give a crap. You put yourself first. You go through all of that. And see, here's one point I wanted to mention out. Runaway Slave 346 says my mother was the same way. She treated me the same way. She was treated the same way by her mother. Generational trauma. I never had children. I'm glad. Yeah, this right here. I'm going to end with this. User FM7 VG4DV1K says sometimes it seems like black women were bred to suffer, but yet told the males have it worse. And see, that's the problem right there. Black women have it worse. Oh yeah. The males are coddled. See, now they only have a hard time when they go out with the majority of society. And the majority of society, they've been building, they've been planning. While these black dust buckets, they've been sitting up being child kept by the mammies. So then, when they've been in mammy land, protected and coddled, they can't make it. That's when they have a hard time when they are challenged. They are used to being coddled. So these black men don't have it hard like you think. They only have it harder when it comes to dealing with the majority in society. Those who have a playbook of success, have a playbook of how to get things done. Do they have the same issues? You're darn skippy. But see, those same black men, they can come to the BC and just rest in their femininity. Black women can't. The culture is backwards. The culture, hate to say it, we have some positive things, but there's so much negativity and so much wrong that this culture is a danger to your health. And if you keep on going that way, that's what it's going to bring you. It brings you nothing but heartache, pain, struggle bus. It brings you death, not just financial death, but physically, mentally. That is why we have to put ourselves first. So no, the black men don't have it worse. Cut all that bull crap, please. Black women do. Because you have to deal with things within the culture of this society, and we're minorities, and then you have to come back to your same community and deal with more trauma. We don't catch a dawn break. So ladies, please do yourself a favor today. Cut them off. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. Choose you. This community will do nothing but hurt you and ruin you. There's no appreciation. Choose you. Sometimes, and it's up to you, I can't tell you what to do. But if it's mom and grandma like this, oh, I drop them ladies quick. Not we're done, we done. Let their old lazy ass son take care of them. And I'm telling you, you're going to get older. If you don't break yourself free, I know what's going to happen. You're going to get older, and you're going to be sitting up like I've seen a few times before, sitting up here angry and mad and bitter because you're going to realize you've wasted your life and you only have that one. Put yourself first. Please get some healing. If it, try to get some dope if you need it. All we have is each other. Put yourself first. Why? Because I love you love you, and guess what? That's what you deserve. Know your self worth. Please put yourself first. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Reading this just really kind of hurts my heart. But we have to get through this together, and we have to love and respect each other. Everybody else does the opposite. We have to love and respect each other despite our differences. Again, know your self worth and put yourself first. I love you, ladies, and I'm out. We'll try and do maybe a separate video for the rest of the comments. Again, thanks for your support. It is greatly appreciated.